This administration recognizes the invaluable contribution of the free press of overall development of our society. That is why I am pleased with the launching of Newsline Philippine cable TV programs together that us keep our people well informed so that they may become empowered catalysts for real and lasting change in Mindanao. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Matag isyu og istorya sa atong palibot. Adunay nagmadaugon, adunay gidaog-daog. Matag kadaugan, adunay musyaged ug kapakyasan. Matag insidente, adunay agrabyado ug adunay akusado. Kasagaran, husgahan na kini sa publiko una pa man masangat ang kaso didto sa husgado. Sa matag isyu, adunay mga taong nagpalayo. Newsliners, hinumdumi, ikaw ug ako adunay katungod ug kini naapatik sa atong batakang balaod. Sayron ta ang mga tubag sa matag isyu kay ikaw ug ako apektado. We need to balance our lines matud pa. Ug kini ang inyong madungog dinhi sa Hardline. Ako si Edith Caduaya mag-uban ta sa pagtuki sa mga isyu beyond colors, beyond race, beyond the punchlines. This is Hardline. Good day, Newsliners. Today, we have a very special visitor. He used to be the chairperson of the powerful Finance and Appropriations Committee in the Philippine Congress. He was the one who pioneered and authored and made flesh the Davao Sports Complex at the University of the Philippines, Mindanao. He authored so many laws and he became the top talk of the country when he passed the Tobacco Law. Today, when I come back, let's have a talk with Davao City 3rd District Representative, Congressman Isidro Ungab, and this is one special segment of Hardline. I'm Edith Caduaya. Stand by. I'll be right back. Ang mga taong dunay mga ginahambin nga mga grabing mga balatian o comorbidity, hilabi na ang mga senior citizen, sila ang mas delikado nga maigo sa coronavirus disease COVID-19. Busa dubling pag-amping ang himuon og tambali ang mga ginahambin nga mga sakit. Ang pagtumar sa Bilongga Gold Herbal Capsule is a food supplement makatabang aron mapunggan nga musamot ang mga balatian. Turmeric uluyang dilaw ang nagunang sagol sa Bilongga Gold. Gisagulan og sodium ascorbate o vitamin C aron mas mulig-on ang immune system. Ang Bilongga Gold Herbal Capsule mapalit sa mga butika.
Gusto ba mo og barato ug orihinal nga mga construction supply? Sa kadaghan sa imong pilian, all-in-one ang imong pagpamalit. Tara na sa 3M1 ug T-Square Lumber and Construction Supply. Nahimutang sa daang Hardika, Lanao ug Davao Street, Kidapawan City.
Back here in Hardline, we are pleased to introduce our special guest, the most sought after chairperson and the man behind the signing and the creation of Republic Act 11-708, or the creation of Metropolitan Davao Development Authority, none other than the uncontested, re-elected Congressman of Davao City 3rd District, Congressman Isidro Ungab. Sir, good day and welcome to Hardline.
Good day, Edith. Maayong adlaw sa tanan, and it is an honor, and it's good to be back.
To be back.
God bless everybody. God bless us.
We survived the pandemic. They said that it's still a long way to recover, still a long way to go for us. But just when the Congress recessed recently, before the President bows out of the office, we have one good thing for Davao region, and what would that be, Congressman Ungab?
Well, the good news is the long and much awaited creation of the Metropolitan Davao Development Authority was finally passed, enacted in the law, signed by President Rudy Duterte last April 13. So this is now Republic Act 11708, and Act creating the Metro Davao Development Authority. So it's now a law after almost 2 years of debates and deliberations in the lower house and upper house. We finally passed and have it signed by the President. So what's the next step? The next step is, of course, if you look at the law, is the creation of the Metropolitan Davao Development Council, which will be the membership of which will include all the governors and mayors, plus the economic team in the regional level. So this would include the Regional Development Council, it will include NEDA, DTI, DPWH. Yes.
I understand. It has, or it will have, a separate police force.
Yes, yes.
So,
well, that would follow. So first is the creation of the council.
Council.
Yeah, which is a much improved or much developed version than the Metro Manila
Cebu.
Development Authority. Because Metro Manila Development Authority, the members of which are mostly the mayors of Metro Manila. Itong
This
sa atin,
time-
we included the technocrats from the national government who are mostly occupying the regional offices.
Who composes the Metropolitan Davao Development Council?
Yung mayors and governors will be part of the council. And of course, the chairman of the Regional Development Council of Davao Region will be there. The NEDA regional director will be there. And as I have said earlier, the
Technocrats.
regional level economic team, which would include DTI, DPWH, DNR, almost all the offices that would include that would involve social and economic development. And to go back to your question with regard to the creation of the
Council.
Metropolitan Davao Police, yes, there will be a new police force command, which shall be named as the Metropolitan Davao Police Command, which shall be headed by a Brigadier General. By the way,
it
the
is different from the Philippine National Police Regional Office.
no, it's basically the same. Basically the same. It's just added layer, which
So
will.
which is higher?
It's still the regional director.
Okay.
It's still the highest echelon in the chain of command will still be the regional director. Then itong Metro Davao Development Command will be reporting to the regional director. So this is actually an amendment by the good Senator Bato de la Rosa, who used to be a PNP chief, and he was referring to, sabi niya, why don't we follow also the NCRPO, which covers Metro Manila. So it's actually a separate, a distinct command, and would involve peace and order, traffic, and everything.
But we are Davao region, and we are one regional command of the PNP. And we have the parallel, Metropolitan Davao Police Force.
Yeah.
So what differs?
Yung Metropolitan Davao Police Force would only cover 6 cities and 9 municipalities.
The selected ones.
Selected one, which are mostly urbanized or highly urbanized. So to be specific, I would like to name
Just go ahead.
the cities and the cities and the municipalities. So we have 6 cities, namely Davao City, Panabo, Tagum, Island Garden City of Samal, Digos City, and Mati City. So the municipalities are as follows: Santa Cruz, Hagonoy, Padada, Malalag, Sulup, Carmen, Maco, Malita, and Santa Maria. So if you will notice,
The coastal areas.
Yeah, the coastal area, it will form a kind of letter Y or letter V,
Yeah.
and
The center is
at the
Davao.
center is Samal. Then
Samal.
that would be included now in the overall development plan, which will have separate planning, I would say, a kind of corporate planning in the private sector. So we will have a planning body under the Metropolitan Davao Development Authority, which will craft the development plans.
You authored the bill in Congress. It was passed at the Senate, now signed by the President. Creating the Metropolitan Davao Council means budget. How much would it needs to form all this?
Yes, first of all, yes, I am the main author in the lower house.
Lower house, yeah.
Let me also give credit to Senator Francis Tolentino, who was the main author in the upper
Senate.
house, in the
Okay.
Senate, because he chairs the local government committee. At the same time, he was able to contribute a lot, given some inputs, considering that he was a former chairman of the Metro Manila Development Authority.
He has
So nakatulong.
insights.
Yeah, nakatulong si Senator Tolentino to polish the bill, then approved now and signed by the President. With regard to the question of the budget,
Ano po
the
yun?
budget will
Ano po yun?
now be prepared by the council. So council will prepare the budget. At present, NEDA is helping them. Number one, NEDA is helping us craft the IRR, the implementing rules, because the implementing rules need to be formulated 90 days upon after approval. Then the council, once officially convened, will recommend to the President of the Philippines a chairperson and a general manager. The chairperson and the general manager will be appointed by the President.
So, does the general manager or the chairperson need to be a politician?
Not really, because what we want here is a developmental, I would say, a person who has
politicians.
a passion for development.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how will Metropolitan Davao Development Authority work with the Mindanao Development Authority, the MINDA we have?
Well, Mindanao Development Authority covers the whole Mindanao. Oh, ito naman concentrated sa Davao
Region. And picky lang among cities.
they will be most likely they will be closely working, especially that they are both they would both belong to the national government because they will be funded by both
National government.
national government. Yes.
Okay. In 2020 GAA, is there provision there for the budget for the MMA?
We are hoping that it will be included in the 2023 budget.
So as it is now, kawanggawa.
Hopefully, because at present, ginagawa pa. They are still in the process of pencil pushing for the budget, how much is needed for the, of course, operations. Then, wala pa man tayong venue, wala pa tayong building.
Wala pa,
So, most likely, magre-rent muna yan to start with. And, of course, the needed budget for the personnel and for the operating expenses for whatever needed, basics, light and water, office
Utilities.
supplies, utilities needed.
Communication. Friends from Davao region, you hear the first part of the most contentious issue revolving the creation of Davao Metropolitan Development Authority. When we'll be back, who can qualify to have a seat? Where will the seat of the MMA be? And what is the role of Congressman Isidro Ungab? We'll be right back.
Ang mga taong dunay mga ginahambin nga mga grabing mga balatian o comorbidity, hilabi na ang mga senior citizen, sila ang mas delikado nga maigo sa coronavirus disease COVID-19. Busa dubling pag-amping ang himuon og tambali ang mga ginahambin nga mga sakit. Ang pagtumar sa Bilongga Gold Herbal Capsule is a food supplement makatabang aron mapunggan nga musamot ang mga balatian. Turmeric o luyang dilaw ang nag-unang sagol sa Bilongga Gold. Gisagulan og sodium ascorbate o vitamin C aron mas mulig-on ang immune system. Ang Bilongga Gold Herbal Capsule mapalit sa mga butika.
Gusto ba mo og barato ug orihinal nga mga construction supply? Sa kadaghan sa imong pilian, all-in-one ang imong pagpamalit. Tara na sa 3M1 ug T-Square Lumber and Construction Supply na himutang sa daang Hardika, Lanao ug Davao Street, Kidapawan City.
Balikan natin ang Metropolitan Davao Development Authority. We talked about the composition, the approval, what will it be, who will compose the group, the budget. But let's face the reality. Come June 30, we have a new president. Congressman Ungab, do we assume or can we assume that President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos will push and will support the MMA?
My personal opinion on this, this Metro Davao Development Authority concept is based on the long-term development plan of the National Economic Development Authority.
Okay.
Because the NEDA's long-term plan is really to decongest Metro Manila. So part of the plan is to create the regional development centers as well as the creation of Metropolitan Development Authority. In fact, what was mentioned, clearly mentioned in the National Special Strategy, again, this same plan that is intended to decongest Metro Manila is the creation of the Metro Davao Development Authority and the Metro Cebu Development Authority.
But we have Metro Cebu now.
No. Metro Cebu, we filed the bill almost together. In fact, nauna ng konti ang Metro Cebu. During the committee hearings, halos sabay kami with Metro Cebu. But during the COVID pandemic, namatay yung main author. Main author was Representative Raul Del Mar.
Yeah.
So, hindi na niya na ipatuloy and nobody took the
And no
cadence.
no one is taking the lead.
Yeah, no one. So, yung sa akin na lang, I was supposed to help him in Metro Cebu because medyo nagtutulungan naman kami noon during the hearings. But I cannot take the lead for Cebu because I'm not from Cebu. So, Davao na lang din ako
You don't know
nag-concentrate.
the geography.
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah.
the political climate, the economic climate, and the socio-economic climate. That's it.
So, I proceeded with the Metro Davao Development Authority, and in fact, I'm very happy that almost all the district representatives and party list representatives of Davao Region
Supported.
co-authored, supported. Pagdating naman sa Senado, ang dami ring senators na nag-support.
Because Davao City, Davao region is a melting political pot.
Yes, and
Is it one of the
aside from that,
reasons,
Metro, if you are really going to study the growth of the Davao region, Metro Davao or metropolitization is just a response to the unique development of Davao City, of Davao region. We have to do that because, for example, you see, Davao is very fast growing. Panabo is fast growing. Tagum is fast growing. Digos, Santa Cruz is fast growing. So kung magkanya-kanya ng develop yan, example, you have a traffic system for Davao. Pagdating mo sa Digos, tag-iba, Santa Cruz, iba. Iba
So
din
this
doon.
will mean a synchronized development plan.
Yes, synchronized development
I
plan.
remember, there was this Davao Integrated Development Program. Has this something to do with the MMA now, or was some plans called out from the IDP, or you get some thought from the IDP and put it in the MMA?
Well, yung DIDP naman noon is more of, I would say, planning yung sa kanila. Ito naman, planning and implementation. At saka, this is wider in scope. This is wider in scope, yung Metropolitan Davao Authority na approach.
If you are to choose, where will be the seat of power of the MMA?
Well, ako ang author eh. Ako ang author. So, if I would be given a chance na ako ang kukonsultahin, I will really say, dito sa Davao. At kung pag sinabing nasa Davao, dito sa 3rd District because I am a representative of the 3rd District. Any I would say, Siyempre naman, ako ang main author. So hopefully kung ako iko-konsulta nila, we have still marami naman tayong mga government land, government properties diyan sa
Were you
Tumbok area.
given the chance kung if it is a legal document, were you given the opportunity to have the right to first refusal? Meron ba ganun?
Siguro naman, considering that I am the author, it's an unwritten rule, it's a tradition na they always consult with the author.
Okay, confer.
Confer with the author. In fact, there were many occasions na yung aking mga batas in the past, no? Kung meron silang gusto tatanong, what was the vision, what was the plan of the author? Yun. Although, in case of doubts in the future, the courts to have the right to interpret the law.
So, given President-elect Bongbong Marcos, he just have to support, or he might support, or he might not support. But the thing is, he needs to decongest Metro Manila. He needs to decentralize the seat of power.
Yes.
And if ever you want it to have a physical office at the 3rd district, which is very critical. Why? Because it's just near the opening of the coastal road.
Yes,
Remember?
yes.
The coastal road, at the same time, the tunnel.
And
This around
there
the
is a
3rd
plan
district.
to...
And you are near the Bukidnon and Davao del Norte border. So it's more of like the geographical location is very, very potential, and it is accessible to other regions in Mindanao.
I agree with you on that.
Di ba, napaka-critical niya? Kasi ito yung Davao del Norte, ito yung Bukidnon, ito yung Davao del Sur, ito yung Davao de Oro, ito yung Davao City. Dito ka pumagitna.
And there is a plan to place the Regional Development Center there in my district also.
UP, are you saying?
Somewhere in UP, yeah. Malapit sa UP at saka Philippine Coconut Authority.
So, Baguoshero will be the place where powers that they will sit.
Hopefully.
But you have problems there. May iba lang ako. Informal settlers. And they're claiming that since time immemorial, why are they already?
Well, when we introduced the sports complex, when we established UP Mindanao, that was the first, I would say, comments, sinasabi ka agad na marami sa amin. But at present, nandiyan ang UP Mindanao, we were able to, kasi galing din akong UP, we were able to live harmoniously with the informal settlers. In fact, most of the children of the informal settlers are now working with UP. Yung sa sports complex nga, we have 18 or 21 houses that were very problematic pag start namin because they were inside the sports complex. But I would say harmony,
we understand
peace and
the
harmony
concept of
prevailed.
development.
Naiintindihan nila and in fact, they were given priority sa employment yung mga anak nila. Most of their children are now working in the
And
sports
the
complex.
fact remains, it's a government property.
Yes,
government
in fact, there was already a ruling there because there was a case in the Supreme Court between they claimed they were agrarian reform beneficiaries versus UP, academic institution, and the Supreme Court sided with the academic institution, which is UP, it's the higher learning.
I guess that's a general problem of all state-run universities and colleges. We have that problem also in Bukidnon. So, balik lang ako dun sa Metropolitan Davao Development Authority. So, this is gonna be a super body. Kasi you have the governors, you have the mayors, and you have the technocrats.
Yes.
Should I say it's super body? Balikan ko, magkano ba talagang kailangan niya? And given that you will be the member of the next Congress, I guess ikaw yung mag-push.
Actually,
for that. How much
as I have
is in your mind?
said in my previous talks, the first observation I was able to observe, I was able to see when I was still vice chairperson of the Appropriations Committee. Sabi ko, bakit ang laki-laki ng budget ng Metro Manila? Followed by 2 or 3 regions, Poros, Luzon, yan sila lahat. So Metro Manila, why? Number 1, the head offices are there. You know, the number 2 reason, Metro Manila Development Authority. They have a separate budget for infrastructure, They have a separate budget for health. They have a separate budget for disaster.
This will be our leverage, are you saying?
So sabi ko, why not create the Metro Davao Development Authority?
In order to spur development.
The spur development and in order to capture more budget. And aside from that, if you have... Kasi ito ang napapansin ko. Most of the RDCs who were able to hire good consultants and were able to provide budget for studies, like example, feasibility studies, yun sila nakakakuha ng malaking budget for their area.
Because they know how to do it ba?
Actually, galing ako private sector. I used to be consultant of the various international agencies. Kaya more or less alam ko yung direction.
They have the indulgence to pursue and persevere.
Yes. Actually, nagkataon lang talaga na we were really working hard and you know how to pull the strings people together to be able to deliver. Kaya medyo nahabol natin yung ating deadline. In the nick of time, napasa pa natin yung ating MDDA. Humabol pa.
Nag-last 2 minutes kayo.
Oh.
April, May, June is bowing out about.
And in fact, I would like also to give credit to Senator Mig Subiri, who was the majority floor leader of the Senate during the 18th Congress. Sabi ko, Senator Mig, ikaw na lang talaga pag-asa nito. Sabi niya, itaga mo sa bato, sa Lunes, balaod na yan. So sabi ko, kapag bahay kami, I'm from Davao City, 3rd District. Siya naman, yung original district niya, Bukidnon, katabi kami, Maramag siya eh.
Maramag.
Oo.
So, that's the Mindanaoans talking now.
Yes.
Different chambers.
We were helping each other. Oo.
Okay. We discussed a lot about the how to prepare, whom to get, and how big is the plan. What will be, do they have the blueprint now? How will they spell all this? How many years will have to take for them to form the Davao Metropolitan Development Council? How many more years to wait? And how will this compensate the people of Davao region? Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Ang mga taong dunay mga ginahambin nga mga grabing mga balatian o comorbidity, hilabi na ang mga senior citizen, sila ang mas delikado nga maigo sa coronavirus disease COVID-19. Busa dubling pag-amping ang himuon og tambali ang mga ginahambin nga mga sakit. Ang pagtumar sa Bilongga Gold Herbal Capsule is a food supplement makatabang aron mapunggan nga musamot ang mga balatian. Turmeric uluyang dilaw ang nagunang sagol sa Bilongga Gold. Gisagulan og sodium ascorbate o vitamin C aron mas mulig-on ang immune system. Ang Bilongga Gold Herbal Capsule mapalit sa mga butika.
Gusto ba mo og barato ug orihinal nga mga construction supply? Sa kadaghan sa imong pilian, all-in-one ang imong pagpamalit. Tara na sa 3M1 ug T-Square Lumber and Construction Supply na himutang sa daang Hardika, Lanao ug Dayo Street, Kidapawan City.
Napag-usapan na rin which city, which part, who will, and the proposed budget. We prepared and talked a lot about all this. Siguro, in your mind's place, do they have the blueprint for that? What are they talking about? How will this development affect the Juan de la Cruz, the Hoy Colons? Congressman Ungab, do you have the blueprint already?
Well, at present, the law talks of the general concept. Yung details sa blueprint, ginagawa ng NEDA ngayon. In fact, I think they are now on the level of preparing the details of the budget, details of the personnel that's needed, saka yung actual blueprint doon na sa kuan talaga yun. Pag nagawa na yung, kung mag-convene na yung MDDA Council, because MDDA Council now will recommend the policies to the President and of course the General Manager. The General Manager pala in the law will have the same level as a Cabinet Secretary. Para yung
Minda.
Yes, para may authority at saka maka-represent doon sa Malacanang in meetings. Wala pa. It will be the screening will be done by the council. So the MDDA council will will receive the applications, and from the applications they will screen and they will recommend to the president a list. So ang presidente na ang pipili from the list kung sinong i-appoint niya as MDDA chairman and general manager.
You fathered, you authored MDDA. If
Yes.
given the chance to name a very crucial project which will be beneficial to the people of Davao region, what would it be?
Kung ako ang tatanungin, I would prefer someone with experience already. Someone with experience in dealing with government. Kasi we are still on the formative stage and you expect birth pains there. Yung
You don't want birth pains?
Yan. Lalaki ako, pero nababasa din natin at saka daog. In any organizational growth, you usually experience some challenges, some obstacles. So, pag-implement yan, first few years, may problema talaga yan. So, hanggang magagawa na yung systems and procedures. In fact, the Metro Manila Commission started as early as during the time of the late President Ferdinand Marcos. And it was, if you remember, the late Mel Matay at that time. Then, institutionalized yun siya, yung present Metro Manila Development Authority ngayon, mga 1995 na. The new law was passed.
So it needs to be
Formalized.
polished, harnessed every now and then, reviewed every now and then.
Yes.
You don't want that toxic well.
Our advantage is that we have learned the weaknesses, the strengths, and I would say the mistakes of the Metro Manila Development Authority. Second, when Metro Manila Commission or MMDA started, medyo matraffic na, magulo na. Ang sa atin, may parts na medyo matraffic na, pero still, I would say, could
can do palliative measures.
Yeah, corrective measures at saka ma-improve pa.
If ikaw yung may magical wand, ano yung gusto mong mangyari sa Davao region with the MDDA? Ano yung pinaka-specific na gusto mo na gusto ko to, I'll need to get this done?
Well, unang-una, if I have the magic wand, as you have said, no, ang gusto ko is a modern, high technology, I would say urbanized Davao region, itong Metro Davao, with modern transport like LRT, like subway, a modern traffic system, high-tech surveillance, high-tech peace and order equipment, high-tech vehicle equipment for the police force. So we will have an ideal metropolitan urban area to live with. So yung urban planning mo very well coordinated at saka long range, long-term planning. So that's my dream. That's our dream for the future, and hopefully yun ang sinasabi ko, in 6 years time I might be ending my career in politics already, because on my third term I will be 67 by that time, no? I would like to retire from politics before 70. Yung pwede pa tayo makalakad-lakad, medyo tumatanda na tayo.
Tanong ko lang, in every development comes a social cost. Is MDDA ready for this? The relocation of people, the migration of people, and other stuff which is part of the so-called development.
Yes, that's why we need our urban planners there, experience and with enough knowledge, because in urban settlements, in urban development, we really experience this kind of problems.
Crisis.
Like Singapore, no?
Yeah.
They were able to relocate their settlers. And hopefully, I think we have success stories also here in the Philippines na kaya natin. Some cities have I would say, success stories na pwede gayahin sa ating metropolitan authority.
Sir, Do you have any specific call to fellow development enthusiasts in Davao region as the Metropolitan Davao Development Authority is now in the office? It's your time.
Well, how I wish I could name a fellow, or how I wish I could create the ideal guy or girl who will lead the MDDA. But as a legislator, I would prefer that hanggang doon lang ako sa legislation. Implementation should be part of the executive department. But if they will ask me or consult me, well, perhaps as part of my oversight function, I will give my recommendation, but the final say, because whoever will, I would say, will lead it, or whoever will appoint it, will have to be responsible for the failure or the success of the project. And ako, susuporta talaga ako to whatever I can do to make this MDDA successful, to make the projects a success. And hopefully, for the future, makatulong ito sa ating bayan at sa ating region at sa most especially in our city at saka aking distrito.
You heard a lot about Metropolitan Davao Development Authority. You heard the social cost, the economic gains, the partners and the players. As we often say, it takes two to tango. Development, sacrifice, and above all, this time, the baby Metropolitan Davao Development Authority needs the support of the people, especially those in Malacanang. I'm Edith Caduaya. Thank you so much. And this has been one of the episodes of Hardline. Good day, and as we always say, stay safe.
Thank you.